Good evening. Or good morning. Okay, the presentation will be starting soon, so I'll be sharing the screen. Just trying to make confirmations and some parts are working. Please, if you don't hear what I say, or if it's low for you to hear, please write in the comment section so that I can adjust. Right now, we're going to the presentation. Okay. I'll reduce the camera so you can be able to see the presentation. First of all, we're going to discuss about the issue. And this project is called the Bennett project. It's simply a new crypto coin that has been in the crypto space, which was released last year around December, and it's already making progress. So we're creating awareness to the public, especially mapping them to reach out to the people that speak English and also to the Nigerians and African community also. So I hope we are able to help you for you to know about this project of the Bennett. So moving on to the issue. During the reign of Constantine the Great, the Roman Empire was in a deep economic crisis. Constantine the Great solved the problem of the economic crisis by carrying out a set of measures to reform the monetary system of the Roman Empire and introducing a new currency called the solid. The essence of the solid was related to high quality and constant exchangeable rate, which made it possible to exchange these coins for any other, as well as non-ferrous metals, copper and gold. In today's understanding, solid occurs as a kind of gold standard. The name solid comes from the Latin word solidus, solid, durable, and massive. It was the strength of the solid that was the result of the fact that the solid was the main monetary unit of the elector of Byzantium for 700 years, due to the high standard which remained almost unchanged until the fall of Constantinople. Solid had a significant impact on the minting of gold coins in neighboring countries. Okay, I'll just give you a full explanation of what this is. And it's very easy to understand actually. During the reign of a ruler, there was a great ruler in the time of the Roman Empire, who was a head of the Roman Empire during the time of Rome, Constantinople, or the name Constantine. Okay, I'll just tell you how it is. You don't know, there was a place like a community, not just a community, like a kingdom. The name of the kingdom was Rome, and during the time of a particular ruler called Constantine, during his rule there was an economic crisis, and the economy wasn't balanced, so they had to solve the problem. And being the ruler, you have to think about how to solve the problem. So he was able to solve this problem by introducing a new monetary system. And I keep telling us that it didn't introduce a new money, it introduced a new monetary system. The monetary system is just simply saying it's the way the money was working before, but now we want to reform it, we want to change the way it is, and we want to give it a new method of how it moves or how it works. That's simply what the monetary system is all about. So he didn't change the money, he changed the monetary system. So he introduced a new monetary system to the Roman Empire at that time, and and this was introducing a new currency. The name of this currency was called the solid. That the way the countries, the states have currency name like the dollars, the euros, naira, pound sterling, cities, different one like Ghana cities, and I think Zambia, Kwacha. And this is just different currency names. And during the time of the Roman Empire, Constantine was able to create a new monetary system and introduce it and give the name of this currency, this new currency. He was giving it the name, he gave it the name solid. And the solid was able to solve this problem because of its ability to keep its quality. When I mean quality, the quality was listed. The essence of the solid was related to its high quality and constant and changeable rate. So basically, it was literally a metal like gold bars. Like what gold bars are. Let me see, I can show you a picture right now. But like what gold bars are. So basically, it was a gold. Like we must have heard of gold, the real gold, and it was in a particular shape and weight, and it was constant. And because of this commodity, because of this new currency, they were able to solve the economic problems because this was something they could trust. It wasn't something that was going to change prices overnight because it was a commodity and a metal, and also it was called solid because of its solid quality. And whatever quality it already has, it never changes. That's why it was called this solid. And this project, the Bennett project, is actually derived from it being we're reviving the word we said further on. We're reviving this same principle that Constantine used, reviving a new monetary system for the world to be able to solve lot of our economic problems. We see a lot of economic problems that we also discussed. The problem is this project is able to solve. We can also understand that it's a revival of this of the gold solid. It's also called the gold solid. It can be called the solid and also called the gold solid. So it's a revival of this gold solid, and the revival of this solid it's going to be that this coin is going to be stable in weight, and as the solid has been, it's going to be more an advantageous than the solid because at that time this was just able to solve the problems in Rome, but this would be able to solve the problems in the world. The Bennett project. Okay, moving forward. Briefly about the cryptocurrencies. Today, although gold has a certain value, but from the point of view of modern economic theory, it is only an additional tool that ensures the stability of the economy. The reforms of Constantine the Great are a great prototype for the creation of modern cryptocurrencies. At the World Economic Forum in 2016, the complete displacement of paper money by cryptocurrencies was predicted. Many researchers note that this process is in some way irreversible. Cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. Cryptocurrency cannot be sold to value to denominated by a state decree. Modern cryptocurrency is in some way a solid that meets modern economic requirements. In addition to the currency expressed in paper documentary form, that is ordinary modern money, there are also cryptocurrencies. Basically, what this place is talking about the cryptocurrency space and how it has started and different research made on it, and also the main point of this two paragraphs talking about the World Economic Forum prediction, saying that from 2016 and forward, the displacement of paper money, like paper money in our countries, like you have the dollar note and you use the dollar note, for instance, in America, or let me see Nigeria, say something there. You use the naira, and it's in paper. We have the paper money, and this money like we use for transactions. And simply, what this place is saying is that the complete displacement of paper money by cryptocurrencies was predicted. Many researchers know that this process is in some way irreversible. So basically, the world is going to the stage of which paper money will be less useful. Less people will use paper money because I'll say last two presentations, I think I listed out some reasons why it's really not totally safe and it's very disadvantageous to use real life paper money. It's very important that we should all migrate to the online banking and online transactions because it's safe. I explained, like for instance in Nigeria where cars are sold, like different part of Nigeria has the way things actually. So like in a particular state, like for instance the car is to be sold, you're not going to take, for instance, the car is about 2 million naira or 2.5 million naira. You're not going to take 2.5 million naira in a bag or something and take it there and withdraw it from the bank. After you withdraw it from the bank, you have to kind of make sure there's no over counting or undercounting, and you have to keep making those searches and checks. Then afterwards, you also pay to the person that owns the car, that's selling the car. Actually, the person said to collect the money and also counts. So this is stress and work done on both parties. So if these two parties are able to discover that there's a smarter way by just having the money in your account instead of withdrawing, just send to the person. And the person will send to the account, the company's account, and automatically you've already paid. And all you just have to do is take your account, the documents, and the receipt, proof of payment, and you're done. The simple as that. And the more the world is able to see the advantage of this and be able to understand this, the more the world will be safer. And also, yes, you can say situations of theft, like since money can also be stolen, the person's what's it called? The person's ATM card or the person's bank card can also be stolen. But on the cryptocurrency perspective, they have informations and they are battered on the blockchain. No one can access it, even if the person has it. The only way a person can access your information, very extreme, is each person has every single information about you. Every single information about you. Like sometimes you often have to repeat your facial ID. If there's no facial ID, there won't be. That is just speaking specifically about facial ID, because there are other passwords. I'm not talking about the blockchain to keep your information safe. There are other platforms and passwords and things you have to go through to keep your account or wallet safe. And if a person is to steal a person's phone or node, whatever phone or technology you use for his mobile cryptocurrency transaction, if anyone wants to steal the device, it's still possible for the person to retrieve his own wallet back, because the fact that it's on the blockchain, it means it's extended. In other words, there are different blocks connected together. So your phone being stolen, it's not it can have probability of your wallet or your information being leaked out from the blockchain, but there's any possibility that with your safety and with the amount at which you kept your information, because everyone's safety differs. Not everyone keeps their information on their phone. Even if their blockchain is on their phone, not everyone keeps typing the information, like what you use and keep. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to put trust on this. So with the fact and with the increase of the cryptocurrency space, a lot of problems, especially theft problems, because when you speak about money, there's always a situation of theft, someone wanting to steal the money. So especially for the situation of theft, there's always, it means the blockchain is as prepared, the security needs to be able to withstand the forces, the opposite forces of other people. So the blockchain is resistant, according to the word forward for the blockchain is resistant to any possible attack. As far as the blockchain is resistant to it. So basically, this is saying that in future, the less use of paper money will actually happen, because people will discover that paper money is stressful and paper money doesn't really give you the advantages that cryptocurrency will give you at the same time. So basically, it will be adapted into the world, and you will notice that the world will adapt into cryptocurrency space. So while this is happening gradually, we're introducing this project, and we're going to be talking about how this project can help you and me and everyone around us, and how it can benefit us. Okay, the modern world is faced with an unprecedented level of unpredictability crisis related to coronavirus infection, which continues to this day. Okay, this is one problem that happens during the coronavirus infection, especially in Nigeria. You know what happened during that time, and in all over Africa and all over the world. There's an economic imbalance. You see that the school artists or people that usually work outside had one of the hardest times in their life, because their only source of income, especially people who want jobs, their only source of income has been kept away, and they had to stay home, do nothing, and their loved ones have to stay hungry, because it's as sad as that. It's as sad as that. It actually happened. So, after this pandemic and after they have gone back to work, definitely the economy is not going to be balanced. It's still going to have an aftermath, and it's going to be there are going to be effects and residues of pandemic actually, and things are balance. So how do we tend to solve these problems? There is this part. The pandemic will but the world community will inevitably solve the problems associated with the restoration of the global financial system, which is the future of the cryptocurrency. So basically, it's inevitable the world has to solve this problem. The country, the president or the economic deputies, or I don't know, the heads in charge of the economy of the country that controls it, they have to come together and put heads together and find a solution. But if the solution already doing that, it can be very easy for them. And that's what brings us, okay, we're not there yet, but the future of cryptocurrency is giving you a breakdown of this part, future of cryptocurrency. One of the solutions to such problem is the development of the cryptocurrency market and the widespread introduction of the ability to pay with it in a variety of countries, both in cash and digital money. States cannot take such a step, otherwise they will become disconnected from the area. If we analyze the history of Solid, we can see that this coin has long been the main one, not only in Europe but also in Asia. And it's important in many ways. And it's important in many ways to determine the development of financial system. Financial system not only in Rome but also in other countries. The main idea in this case is to increase reinforcement and confidence in a particular currency. It is the cryptocurrency that acts as an innovative tool that can not only stop inflation but also provide an unprecedented increase in cost. So basically, the cryptocurrency is like equivalent to what the Solid was. In the fact that the cryptocurrencies they have definite quality. You know that I can keep my money here, no one is gonna come outside and steal my money. If the company is a scammer, there are millions of organizations that's gonna bring the company down. There are many, because basically for everyone to keep the security there's a way they have to always fight for the security. Because everyone uses it, becomes more decentralized. So if anyone tries, or like for instance, now let's say a particular person wants a particular company that holds all the coins decided to scam individuals, it might be hidden for a particular time, but the moment it's hidden, they will have to pay a lot of ransom for it. It may not be when I pay minimum pay, so they will have to pay a price for all this. And this is how things actually work. So basically, the blockchain is like the safest part of the monetary system. That's why it has been introduced. And it's not just introduced, but it's not just introduced for introduction. So it's also introduced for the advantageous aspect of everyone that's going to use it. The modern financial system is a model of relationships. So the modern financial system is a model of relationships based on trust. The history of modern fiat money began in 1347 in Florence. It was the year of the outbreak of the Black Plague. This was the beginning of the economic crisis. Together, rich people had to reform the financial system and create a new type of money, the fiat money, from Latin, proclamation acclamation. It was during the years of the terrible epidemic that society agreed with the proclamation of the status of paper money as a means of payment. The production of paper came as turned into a business whose name is seigniorage. So basically, like another pandemic happened in Florence. Sorry, I'm not saying another. Like before, in the old times, in 1347, according to this place, in Florence, there was another pandemic that actually happened. It actually struck the economy. The economy was also imbalanced, and after there was an aftermath, they had to make the economy balanced back. And the plague that struck them was called the Black Plague. So they had to make the economy balanced. So how were they able to do? They introduced a new monetary system again, and this was called the fiat money. And what did I say fiat money is? According to the basic definition, fiat money is like the government or the personnel in charge of the amount of money printed in a particular country. So the government hasn't the ability to say how much. Let me use the government. Since the government is basically everywhere over the world. So let's say the government. The fiat money simply means the government having the ability to control the amount of money or numbers of paper money that is printed. So the government can basically say I want 200 sheets of 200 paper, or how do I put this? Like naira, like let's say I want 500 copies of the 500 naira note. So basically that's what the fiat money is. So it is able to solve the monetary system of the country at that time in Florence, especially though, because what has been running in a fiat money method will still face economic problems. So there have to be a new method of a new solution that's going to be given to solve a lot of problems. Okay, seigniorage is the income received by the issue of money and the right of ownership. I've said this before, talking about the fiat money. So there's always a part that there's always a part that the one issuing the amount of money is going to gain from it. The seigniorage business consisted of 19 coins from the customer's material, whereas payment for the work performed, the senior keeps part of the material for himself. Centuries later, the spoiler of history is making a new turn And once again, the world is facing an epidemic that has caused a global crisis of confidence in the established institutions of power and financial institutions over the centuries. Now, the world, what is bad? When it comes to economics, it is necessary to turn to the experience of our ancestors without repeating their mistakes and taking as a basis the best that our predecessors have. It is for this reason that we want to remember the legacy of Constantine the Great and present the Bible project. Bennett, abbreviated from the word benediction, is a project to revive the virtual space equivalent of the gold side, which has become a prototype of millions of currencies used worldwide as a benchmark for the refinement. So what this is saying is, Bennett is simply benediction. What is benediction? Benediction is advantage. It's imperative. Imperativeness of the profit you get. You're gaining profit from it, like profit, the good part of the entire situation. So what it simply means, you're not gaining it. You're not gaining you're not having the most part of the game. So you're gaining, you're profiting. You're in the benedictine aspect of this. So it's for any user using it, you're having a benefit. That's the benefit. You're having the benefit. What is benefit? So basically, you're having a benefit for using this particular coin. And the project is to revive in the virtual space. So what this simply means? At first, the gold solid was a real currency you could hold and feel, but now we're reviving this coin in the virtual space. In other words, it's not a physical coin, it's not like the paper money or the fiat money. This is a coin that's on the blockchain. So basically, it runs on the blockchain. So it's as the blockchain, that's where it works on. And it's a revival of the gold solid, an equivalent to it. So Bennett, second definition, Bennett is a peer-to-peer network with some blockchain. Blockchain is used to store data, the format of which allows you to securely store recorded information about any event created in the cryptographic application. So it's also a peer-to-peer. So I explained peer-to-peer like in a basic form last time, but I think that's 2 times. So it's explained that it's like in the old time there was a method of trading before the buying and selling happened. There was a method called trade by barter. What happens is, for instance, I need something but I don't have that thing, or you have it, and there's something I have but you need it. I can confuse myself. Let me go in. It means a real example. For instance, I need a spoon and you need a cup. You don't have a cup and I don't have a spoon. So that's why we need it. So what happens is I asked you for your cup, for your spoon, and you asked me for your cup. So what just happened? I give you my spoon and I click and I give you the cup and I take your spoon. So we'll just trade it like that. And it's simply trade by barter. So that was like basically what peer-to-peer means. I have this coin, you have this coin, this coin there. When we exchange the price and anything, there's always a currency and there's always a profit for us as the users and the benediction for the both of us. And it's also a means to store information. We also talk about that in the future, talking about the Bennett hash or the hash functions of the blockchain. And the last definition is Bennett is a decentralized cryptocurrency with an environmentally friendly many mining method for each coin. The consensus of the decentralized network and the integrity of the blockchain are achieved thanks to advanced development. Okay, before I continue, I'll check the comment section, see if there are any questions or contributions from any of the viewers. Finish. If you have a question in the comments, you can actually put them in the comment section. You can go to the Yammer page on Telegram, and over there you can ask questions, and when the Yammer starts, you'll give an answers. Okay. Okay, a little bit about the blockchain. As we thought of cryptocurrencies, before I read this, I'll just tell you the basic form I usually use for the explanation of what the blockchain is. I say that as the word says, it's a blockchain chain. There are a lot of blocks, and these blocks has a lot of information in it, and all these informations are connected to each other with a chain called the block. They're connected together with something called the chain. So basically, just blocks all together connected with chains. Okay, I'll read now. As a total cryptocurrency, the Bennett database is built and stored in a large series of blocks known as a blockchain. So basically, the information is kept in this linked block, and altogether they are called the blockchain. The advanced algorithm improvement that proof-of-timestake and impeccable implementation of the age of the coin concept is resistant to all possible attacks on the blockchain in order to falsify transactions and generating coins. Okay, I also said this at the beginning that this project is resistant to all possible attacks on the blockchain. Okay, I think this is the second point. The Bennett network has remained decentralized since its inception, and as the number of users grows, it becomes more and more decentralized. Bennett uses an eco-friendly mining system in which each coin is a virtual mining farm with a differentiated generation rate, depending on whether the account provides generation of new blocks in the blockchain or not. So simply speaking, when you get the coin, when you get the Bennett coin, it mines in a very easy and understandable method. So basically, there's no part for it that's going to be hard to understand. Okay, next one. Bennett network nodes do not issue coins. Bennett network nodes do not issue coins as a result of creating blocks, but only determine the rate of generation of new coins for accounts involved in maintaining the operation of the decentralized network, for which they receive commissions for transactions recorded in the blocks they created. Okay, now the part that you need to know about, so you can have good terminologies and good technical words now related to the Bennett project. The Bennett network node is any device that contributes to the transaction of the block data to the network. Any device of Bennett software is treated as a node. To explain last time, like if you're trading Bennett in your phone, or you're writing the application or whatever, you're using a PC, you're using a tablet, basically that device is a node and it's recognized by the Bennett. So you're basically among the Bennett doctrine, or translate like that. So how was the mining work? You have the eco-friendly mining, or Bennett, is performed in two states, the soft and the hard mining. Soft mining is a software method for generating new coins with an account balance available to each holder using a private access key. And explaining the private access key is like your identity, as the word explains. They are like distinguished for every users and make wallet distinguished. You are the owner of this wallet, so it's a sign that you're the owner of this wallet. And I explain soft mining. Okay, so let's skip this. Okay, I have to skip it first. Not like I'm not going to explain. I'm going to explain them. This slide here. I'll print this slide. So, continuation. And the hardware is a software and hardware method of mining coins using decentralized equipment that stores and up-to-date code with the blockchain and synchronized with the general network to participate in the generation of blocks. So, the hardware is basically the software is basically a software and a hardware method. So, it's a software method of currency moving at a particular rate, the Bennett currency moving at a particular rate. There's a hardware method of a machine that is up to date with the blockchain. With the Bennett blockchain and the general blockchain of the entire cryptocurrency space. So it's moving in, so they're moving simultaneously, so they're moving together and simultaneously. So they're all working with each other due to the up-to-date record of each other. So the Bennett eco-friendly mining is a perfect patent presented to for promotion and popularization, allowing you to establish links with blockchain fixation, according to the principle of multi-level market. It was created on the basis of time-tested technologies, business development on the basis of network structures and other cryptocurrencies. The main advantage of Bennett eco-friendly mining is reliable protection against interference and mining mechanism and its absolute transparency. All users can track the number of coins mined in real time. So as I explained last time, this is very easy to understand. You can look at your wallet and you can have this particular coin, then you can turn off your phone and go back to sleep and come back, and all of a sudden you're having a different amount of coin. You didn't give anyone your wallet address, You're surprised you haven't done amount. But you won't be that surprised because for everything that happens in your wallet, there's a self-explanatory interface for you. You can understand why you can move to. You're going to look at the percentages of okay, you're kind of moving at this percentage. So it is counting and move over. That's why I have this new amount of data points. So basically, as a user, you'll be able to track the number of coins mined in real time. Everything's not hidden from you. You have the reach to the information that relates to you about your wallet. Okay, now talking about another part of the cryptocurrency, crypto space. Okay. Let's go. We understand the importance of decentralized database, which we usually call the blockchain, and we had an idea. We tried to combine the reliability and security of the classic cryptocurrency as well as the advantages of hash functions, the use of which is in demand in various phases of human life, which created the Benedict crypto application. I explained that there's a part of the blockchain. If you've used the blockchain, if you've used, like, let me say Binance, you are noticing that information of Binance as sellers are always kept safe. Like when you have made transactions with to people, you that information is kept there. So the part of the blockchain that does this function is called the hash function. It's called the hash function. So it has been implemented in Benet project, and it has been called the Benet Hash. So what is Benet Hash? Benet Hash is a decentralized platform for storing information or addressing events taking place in people's life. So remember I told you that it's a part of the blockchain that can store information. So basically this has been implemented fully into the Benet application, in the sense that in the future we'll be able to store events and keep files and information, events, situations, levels of life, and keep them there safely, not like being shared with other people. It's being you keeping it there and keeping it safely. You're keeping it there for a safe reason. So then basically it's in a place that you'll be trusted and the information will be shared safely. Secondly, Benet is a native application that allows you to sign in event to this next state. It activates time recording and hashtag of the event. All events are stored in a cryptographically protected blockchain database running in a peer-to-peer network and Java environment. Benet coins are used as fuel to update Benet Hash files to the blockchain. What does it mean? If you want to carry it so you understand, we have implemented an environmentally friendly way of mining coins and burning coins effectively. To upload files, the user burns coins in the proportion of 10 Benet coins for 1 KB of information recorded in a block related to 2 KB, 2 MB actually. So what this is saying is that there's a block, and we can do. There are blocks. Each block is divided into blocks into a single block, and one block can contain maximum of 2 MB of information and 2 MB of information. So the units to keep, unit for Benet, equivalent to the unit of information or unit for storage, is 10 Benet is equal to 1 KB of information. So if you check your phone or whatever, your storage, your part of your phone, there are ways which information are taken on phone. There's the KB, which is the kilobyte, there's the MB, which is the megabyte, there's the gigabyte, and some other advanced systems, there's the terabyte. That started from lower to the top, kilobytes, KB, megabytes, MB, gigabytes, GB, and terabytes, TB. So this is, I think, the smallest one there. And the 10 MB, 10 Benet coins actually is equivalent to 1 KB. So if you want to store a picture of 4 KB on your 2 MB block, all you just have to do is use 10 Benet coins multiplied by 4 KB, which will be 40 Benet coins, and you have already bought 4 KB of space on the Benet Hash platform where you can keep information. So obviously, so that's what it means here by saying Benet is for the Benet Hash. It's a foil, it's like a place. It's the Benet coin is what makes this Benet Hash function. Without the Benet coin, you can't function with Benet Hash. And I'll just go through this once before. I remember I told you that this Benet Hash is about keeping information. So basically, in 2024 to be released, according to the space, to be released in 2024. Early in 2024, we released an application of free access you should be able to use. Not to use Airdrop administration errors. Not to means for duplicating registers with signatures of participants. Airdrop administration for football incident with instant uploading of incident photos to the blockchain. allows for signing contracts with the possibility of exercising of publicly requesting data from the Benin budget. Like I'll just use the picture so you understand straight away. First of all, this is like a picture icon, meaning that you'll be able to store documents and you'll be able to store picture related files. And this means you can store files in the Benin Dash blockchain. Oh, you'll be able to understand this basically. Benin Dash is the world's first public. Benin Dash is the first public blockchain repository, use of which is required in many areas of the real economy. So basically, this hash function has been existing, but this Benin Dash was first to use this hash function as a part of this project. Okay, for this means you can store files, and this means of course you can store pictures. This one means you can store law or the rule of particular country related situations like there's a transaction between two people. There have to be a paper or a payment between two of them, and or like there's a law passed and they can be checked there at the blockchain, the blockchain. Whenever you're talking about the vehicles, like situations that happen on the road, accidents, and remember accidents is not just car colliding, accidents can be any situation that happened on the streets, any situation, literally any situation, good or bad, advantageous and disadvantages. That's what we are saying. I think they're talking about the work information can be kept, health or relationship information can be kept. Okay, it's also Benin 6. I think that Benin 6 is under the Benin Dash, and what's the is that we are according to this we set to protect against profound accusations of harassment. So basically, we notice that the world sometimes men or women face harassment that someone actually harassed them, but sometimes we don't know if these situations are true or they are false allegations. And if this actually happens, if there's a means for you to be able to give information when you're in a relationship with the person and you're able to give information on Benin 6 or other Benin Dash, information will be kept there, and whenever it's time for you to revive this information, you'll be sure that this information is kept there safely and you can actually revive this information if there's any situation of someone accusing you. And this will be a very good evidence because there's an information kept there that there was something between you and this person, or there was an information to be able to stop him. There was actually you having a relationship with this person, because for you having a relationship with a person, you keep the information and that information is known there. So basically, you and the person knows about this information. It cannot be edited. So it's a good evidence in case it is a situation of harassment or false accusations, or maybe true accusations. So it works all around. Okay, Benet, auto.benet.cc talking about for those who want to set speed record, like there was a razor who wants to keep how much time you want, or you can actually keep those informations. Benet.auto. Okay. But the most important application of the technology is something that's not yet close to the market. The word chronicle events. This is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, face different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. After all, the most important thing is memory of the past. The past is the beginning of the whole present. The future is impossible without the present. With our application, you will have the opportunity to upload the facts importance to your family, to the data warehouse, be it photos, videos, or documents, and thus in 100 or 200 days, you send that to easily be able to learn everything about it. See what you're wearing, prepare for, remember you always. In fact, giving you authority. After all, when a person is remembered, it will matter. So basically, it's talking about your information. As a person, as an individual, if you're also, first of all, I'll talk about what it's simple to understand. It's like the whole world using this project and this coin. By the time I'm using it, it's already a book, not a lecture book. I mean, everyone having to contribute to this. It's like writing a book all together. We're talking about our experiences and keeping it on the blockchain safely. So, talking about this other three paragraphs, saying that in future, like in now, you can tell me, except for the family has done a lot of good research and good record keeping, you can't tell me the exact face of 10 generations of your family 10 years ago. You can, not 10 years actually, 10 generations ago. You can't tell me that it's possible right now that you can actually locate the person's picture. And if you actually locate the person's picture like a black and white picture, can you be able to like talk a lot about the person? Can you say about the person's true self, what the person likes, what are the likes and hates, do's and don'ts, talents, or what it does in his free time, information like that very so because sometimes they're very fascinating when if you know that generations back, there was someone that you actually given like in the family. It'd be like fascinating. Wow, this is a bloodline. And information like that is power because you'll be able to notice a thing that's happened before and learn from past mistakes. And that's also one part of it. If your information are also kept, you'll be able to make the future children know about you, so you can actually your past life can actually give them a guideline for them as the future. So this is going to be a very great part of the world. If it's going to be, if as I put this, if everyone is to put the information there, in future their children will be able to understand this part and bless them because this is a very good opportunity to keep informations. This is the beauty of blockchain. Your events will not disappear anymore because they are stored in devices around the world. So around the world, your device will be stored because cannot be accessed by anyone apart from you, and cannot be edited by anyone actually. Even you cannot edit it. This way you will definitely leave your mark on the world. With the help of Benedash, the past, present, and future of you and your family has exist, and will always exist. I just went through this. You have to get the app, and get the coin and work. Please do not interface. This is what's like. This is the Bennett wallet. The thing is wallet ID. Here you can scan barcodes for coins. So here is your wallet. Current amount of Bennett coin we have. There's some small buttons. I think there's a sell. Then make a payment. See, it's the sell button. Sell Bennett, receive Bennett, send account info, create voucher. Like if you want to like send to give someone a voucher so they can scan and get money. But the money is going to be cut from yours. Unless you want to give someone 20 Bennett, you just put the voucher about for 20 Bennett. It's a QR code and send to the person scans it and that's what happens. You can also use it to wallet. Nothing bad is going to happen with you. Just as it and you can actually force your own go to the different wallet. You don't have to log into it. Okay, yeah, basically. You can get the app also in Google Play Store. Explained last time that the iOS version is not yet out. You can also check it on the website. Speaking from your eco-friendly mining Bennett allows you to minimize the cost of electricity and issue new coins on the account. The maximum number of coins that can be mined on a section in one section does not exceed 10,000 Bennett, and you switch upon reaching 100,000 Bennett, the account stops mining until balance decreases. I explained the reason for this that when your account gets to this amount, it goes down. It's important because to avoid inflation, Bennett, the one of the problems Bennett solves is avoiding inflation. So if you are avoiding inflation and right in this whole project, there's also a problem of inflation. You're basically not solving a problem. So to avoid inflation, the wallet goes back to start reducing. So I also advise that when you see that it's approaching this amount, it's important to create an affiliated wallet. What is an affiliated wallet? It's like you making a wallet. First wallet, you make a second wallet, send it from the first wallet to the second, making a third wallet, send it from the second to the third, making the fourth, send it from the third to the fourth. So that's the definition of wallet. Okay. Okay, I'll go through this. The mining cryptocurrency implements the function of increasing the base rate of coin mining for miners to support the performance of the peer-to-peer network. For wallets whose balances are used to perform transactions made on the network, the base rate of coin mining is 1% per day. So basically, as a starter, there's a base rate 1% per day. Regardless of the balance, such many parameters are applied and valued for 20,000 blocks for the moment of generation of the value block accepted by the network. At the same time, mining acceleration coefficients from wallet affiliated with them are also applied. So this is a long test. I will explain it with the diagram. Over here we have the percentages of mining coins into 12 complicated coefficient, and over here we have the amount of coins in the account. And this is talking about the basic speed of eco-friendly of mining without complicated coefficient. So if you have like under one Bennett coin, like 0. Like from 1 and under, not minus, but 0 coins like that, you can mine at 1%. And if you're starting, you can mine at 1%. Like you're starting for today, like first time you're going to mine at 1%. Then if your coin mines, or if you have from like 1 coin to 10,000, Bennett coins. Your coin will be mining at 0.25%. If you have 10,000 coins to 1,000, your coin will be mining at 0.5%. So as it increases, it keeps moving. I think there was one I saw yesterday during the presentation. It was moving at 0.9, and the coins are so much. And it's not actually, well, as it keeps moving, you see that there are more percentages as your coins increase. When we are talking about affiliation, and affiliation I explained that is you making a wallet and sending it to each other. Like you make a first wallet, and you have Bennett coin. It means you made the second wallet. You send from the first wallet to the second wallet. Not everything. You can just be part of it and send from the second wallet to the third. You just keep going like that, third to fourth, fourth to fifth. You have 10 generations of wallet according to this place. The coefficient of acceleration of coin mining for affiliated markets or for affiliated wallets in 10 generations. So altogether, if you have like 100,000 Bennett to a million Bennett, you mine at this coefficient, acceleration coefficient. It's basically easy to understand. Okay, the roadmap of all things that has happened in Bennett blockchain. Number one, the blockchain was launched on 19 December 2020. That's last year. Number two, the process to simply implement the memorandum of describing the token reception of I think a token is like a place where you can see the amount of coins and you can see their levels in the market. You can see information about the particular coin. What different information you want to get, many information you can actually get it from there. Number three, our own wallets for Android devices that's already been developed and published every year under the HTTP Google Play Store or Google Store. You should type it like that. Google can help you sort it out so you can get the application. Or you can just go to any browser, or as far as an Android user, you go to your Google Play Store, whatever application or market you have, download the Bennett application so you can start. Number four, by the way, if you have a Bennett coin, you can actually exchange it to dollars right on xt.com. Okay, I just got it. On July 7, 2022, that's 3 months back, the exchange trading of the Bennett cryptocurrency began on the exchange xt.com. Number 5, so on xt.com is the site now. It's xt.com is that you can trade different currencies, Bitcoin, different currencies over there, and Bennett is among them. Bennett can be paired with different other currencies. So basically, it's already accepted by the cryptocurrency space. Number 5, in the very near future, we're going to be appearing App Store. That's for the Apple users. Number 6, August 15, 2022, a grand event took place. The company Soldo Constant LTD has completed the purchase of and made already. Company BNP Limited. The company BNP Limited is a pioneer in the field of software development, data processing, as well as other activities in the field of information technology. So basically, the one that has to do with the technical of information and keeping them safely encrypted and secure. Okay, approaching the conclusion of this meeting. Okay. Move on. Bennett is not only cryptocurrency, it's also a philosophy, and not everyone likes it, which is cool. And that's why we're making the awareness so everyone can know about it. A weak cryptocurrency cannot have a great value, so Bennett is worth nothing. The main advantage of our project is its absolute openness and transparency for users, which is confirmed by the history of its transactions. Each wallet owner is an issuer. Respectively, the more people use it, the more reliable and durable the project is. The more reliable and durable the project is. Currently, we're making every effort to make our project interesting in various countries in the world. We hope that our concept of seigniorage, which related the use of events to Bennett, will be of interest to many. In order to become an ambassador of the Bennett project in your country, you can fill out the form on the website https://bennett.cc/ambassadors, or you can just go to the website bennett.cc on the menu bar by the side. You can go there. You see the ambassadors option there, and it's easy to understand. Then, note, perhaps the most important plus of our Bennett platform is that there's no censorship here. When it means that things cannot be changed. Like there's nothing that's hidden. You see everything there. You can't change them because the information you will not kind of information. Let's go. There is only the truth here. which is what I'm about to say. You will not be able to delete or retouch a photo or event. You will not be able to delete or retouch a photo or event. You will not be able to change the document that you upload, and that's fine. It will allow you to remain real, natural, and sincere. Sincerity has magnetism, and it always feels that people. Sincere interest is always rewarded. A smile will always be answered. Sincerity allows you to feel life as possible, allows you to show natural individuality, and make people grow in spirit. Together we are always stronger. Join us and may the blessing of Constantine the Great come with us. Okay? It seems to me that we've come with something that's not yet close to the market. And these are the words of the CEO, by the way. The thing is poised back to love. And I read again. It seems to me that we've come up with something that is not yet close to the market. We have come up with, let's call it, for example, what we call events. This is a clinical written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. This is the lead manager, and this is the founder of the Soldo Constant LTD. I think the one that's good for the information technology. Okay, this is the info. This is the address to, I think this should be in the UK. Along, I guess. Nothing can stop us anymore because the brand is not important. Words are not important. Components are not important. Only one thing is important: unification. So basically, it's a working event that's unifying the entire world. I mean, unifying everyone using it so that our monetary system and economy can become more balanced. Speaking financially, the more of us, the stronger we are. And I remember that this is not just the financial aspect, there's also the event part. So information starts to be kept for us in our future. The more of us, the stronger we are, and we are together. The blessing of Constantine is with us. Thank you. That's the end of this presentation. So, I think I was saying very much up. So, if you have any questions or contributions or things you want to know about, you can ask now, or you can also go to the Almo page, ask me anything. I drop the link on our comment section. You can actually go there and get answers to your questions over there. Okay, what else? Yeah, we're saying good night soon to all viewers. Thanks for joining us today. Hope to see you next time. Please like, subscribe. Yeah, there's also, okay, I don't think I can put that now, but on the next lesson or the next presentation, I'll be putting the links for the Telegram pages. I should do that, and also I can also share. You can also share the link during the video so you can speak with friends and family and so they can know about this. We're also trying to raise awareness. Some parts of the world are already know about, some Asian part already know about this. It's already in the crypto space. So we're moving fast. And thank you for coming with us and watching with us today.